This is CBS.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Durian.
And I'm Rod Daniels. Here's what's happening tonight. What could be the cockpit of the Space Shuttle Challenger was recovered tonight. We'll have the latest on that investigation.
The astronauts were remembered tonight here in Baltimore. Mark Mooney has that story.
Do the women at Goucher College want their campus to go co-ed? We went there tonight to find out.
And we'll tell you all about Jeffrey Levitt's first day in jail and his first dinner dessert.
The number 1 and 2 city roundball teams met on the court today. Vince has highlights.
And do you suppose we'll see the 40s on Friday? Norm has the forecast.
News 11 at 11 is next.
Errol's has been selected by Baltimore Magazine as the best video club. Here's why.
Errol's has something here for everybody in the family.
I like to have friends over, and at the end of the evening, I like to surprise them with a video.
Errol's gives you a chance to relax in your own home.
This club has a better selection in Beta than any other club.
My kids and I have a video party every weekend.
I don't see any reason to go anywhere else.
Errol has everything in movies that I like.
Discover Baltimore's favorite video club for yourself. Errol's.
I think Errol's is great.
At Jerry's Toyota, our volume purchasing and sales policies have made us one of the largest Toyota dealers in the nation. This means Jerry's Toyota can offer you the guaranteed lowest price on the best selection of new Toyota cars and trucks available anywhere. At Jerry's Toyota, the tradition continues. Discount pricing, award-winning service, and the best selection of brand new Toyota cars and trucks available anywhere. Like the song says, who could ask for anything more?
These people are under attack by an invisible enemy. Unseen, it's waging war on their teeth and gums. It's plaque, and it can cause gingivitis, which can lead to irreversible gum disease. Take action with Dentagard fluoride toothpaste. No toothpaste has been proven more effective in removing plaque, and Dentagard can even help reverse some of the early signs of gum disease. So fight plaque with Dentagard, because what you can't see can hurt you.
From WBAL-TV, Baltimore, Maryland's most complete news report with Dave Durian and Rod Daniels, sports with Vince Bagley, and meteorologist Norm Lewis with weather. This is News 11.
Good evening, everyone. The Coast Guard tonight recovered the largest piece yet from what was the Space Shuttle Challenger. The debris recovered shortly after these pictures of the search were taken is believed to be part of the fuselage. NASA says another crucial section was found floating on the ocean today.
It looks like part of the fuselage to them. They report it as a large piece. They report seeing in the same area several other items that look to them to be parts of the cockpit.
Now, the Coast Guard cutter carrying all the debris has just docked, and if pictures become available, we'll have them for you later in the newscast. Meantime, the investigation of the accident has led to two possible theories for the explosion. One, a broken splice on a rocket booster. The other, a leak in the main tank.
I think it was a small leak, probably near the connector between the external tank and the shuttle.
Searchers have also recovered a tape recorder from the shuttle and bone fragments, but they can't say if those belong to one of the astronauts. At a Concord, New Hampshire high school, classes resumed today for the students of teacher astronaut Krista McAuliffe. Her parents appeared publicly for the first time since the disaster at a memorial service held at the Teachers College where their daughter graduated. And her husband issued a statement thanking the nation for its sympathy and concern. Also today, the University of Maryland announced an engineering fellowship to remember its graduate, astronaut Judith Resnick.
Dave, the astronauts are being remembered here in Baltimore, too. This billboard was seen today by hundreds of motorists who drove along the 4200 block of Pulaski Highway. It commemorates all 7 of the astronauts and January 28th, a date none of us will soon forget. We were not able to find out tonight who paid for the billboard or how long it is expected to stay up. There was another expression of our grief and sorrow over the loss of the Space Shuttle crew tonight. Mark Mooney reports on a moving memorial service held in East Baltimore.
If a memorial service for the astronauts were to be held anywhere in Baltimore, you'd expect it to be held here in Highlandtown, Canton. For the German, Irish, and Polish Americans of this working-class neighborhood, the Challenger and its crew stood for all that is good about America. And the grisly image of the shuttle's explosion Tuesday will be engraved in their minds for the rest of their lives.
You never can say it's over. It's just begun. And that's the message of these astronauts, that no one lives in vain, that nothing that we do in God's name is done in vain.
Part of me was up there, and it's just we lost something great.
You can bet that memorial services like this one are being held in small-town church halls and big city cathedrals across America this week. In Annapolis tomorrow at noon, a service is scheduled at the U.S. Naval Academy. And of course in Houston, the big one, the one in which President and Mrs. Reagan will be in attendance. In Canton and East Baltimore, I'm Mark Mooney, News 11.
And tomorrow, as you may know, President Reagan travels to the Johnson Space Center for a memorial service there. Channel 11 will cover it live immediately following News 11 at noon.
And off the already reduced prices. The Red Dot sale starts tomorrow at Hecht's.
Who has Maryland's best financing rate? Bill Schaefer's Nationwide Nissan. Only Nationwide offers you 6.9% financing on everything in stock. Nissan's Sporty Pulsar, $73.95 with Nationwide matching down. Nissan's Luxury Maximas, $11,895 with Nationwide matching down. 6.9% is Maryland's best financing rate, and Nationwide has Maryland's best selection of Nissans. 6.9% financing ends soon. Buy now, save now at Bill Schaefer's Nationwide Nissan.
This is a brilliant idea. Rings of fiber optics, circles of light that we've placed around business and government centers in the Bell Atlantic region to handle your needs for information transport and advanced communications. But the real genius behind what we do lies in our ability to manage these technologies for your affordable, reliable use. The companies of Bell Atlantic, we make technology work for you.
When it's been one of those days,
what's for dinner, Mom?
You know it's time for Miss Molly.
How does lasagna sound?
Miss Molly dinner entrees are not frozen.
I love your lasagna, Mom.
You just drop the flavor-sealed vacuum pouch into boiling water, and in 5 minutes, a complete and nutritious meal is ready.
Come and get it!
And you're ready to relax. New unfrozen dinner entrees from Miss Molly Kitchens.
Dinner that's so good, so fast.
It's not that there are no men at Goucher College, there certainly are, but not undergraduates. They have been exclusively female for more than a century. The idea of admitting men has come up several times and has been defeated several times, but has come up once again. Jeff Salkin looks at what kind of reception it's getting this time.
Goucher College was founded as a women-only institution in 1885. All of the school's undergraduates are women, but graduate and continuing education programs are open to men. The idea of making the campus entirely coeducational has been brought up and rejected several times before. The school's trustees are giving the question serious consideration again, and more than 50 students attended an evening meeting to voice their opinions. Most oppose the idea.
It's been 100 years without men, and I think it should continue that way. It's been educating women for 100 years, so I would prefer it to remain that way.
I don't think it would be all that bad as long as they don't have to lower the standards of the academic standards. But if they got to, then I don't want them here.
I've heard a lot of people don't want them in because they think it will be more competition, but I think it'll improve social life, and it'll still be a good school. So I can't see any reason not to.
Input received from students will be considered along with the opinions of faculty and alumni before the school's trustees make their decision sometime this spring. If men are admitted, it probably won't be before the 1987 school year. At Goucher College, Jeff Salkin, News 11.
They met while he was touring in Russia. They married in 1974, and they had not seen each other since, until today. Irina and Woodford McClellan were reunited this evening at BWI Airport, ending an 11-year struggle to bring her to the United States. Mrs. McClellan, one of 10 Soviet citizens who recently received permission to emigrate, had some words of encouragement for those with spouses still in the Soviet Union.
In the airport Sheremetyevo on my departure, Lena Kaplan, whose case is the most difficult, came to say goodbye to me. And we had a long talk, and I wished them to be strong and patient, and of course I hope that they will come to that day when their families will be reunited.
The McClellan's daughter was allowed to accompany her mother here. Woodford McClellan, a Russian history professor at the University of Virginia, said he and his wife are now headed on a honeymoon.
An arrest tonight in one of the murders last fall in the Mount Vernon area. An East Baltimore man has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of Benny Giordana. He was robbed and stabbed in November. Yesterday, police arrested another East Baltimore man in connection with the strangulation death of Coppin State professor Samuel Jones. Westport residents can look forward to their mail tomorrow. It hasn't been delivered in a week. Mail service in this public housing section was halted a week ago when a teenager threatened the postman, thinking he was an undercover drug agent. Officials with the Postal Service said they even received calls threatening the mailman's life. At a meeting today, residents weren't happy about not getting their mail for a week.
I don't feel that you should have had the right to stop the mail without consulting the community.
Residents say they also want help in solving the crime problem in the neighborhood, and they have promised to turn in the names of any criminals.
As many of you know from first-hand experience, this is turning out to be a big year for the flu. Well, as of tonight, 32 states are reporting an influenza outbreak. Among the latest, Virginia, Delaware, and the District of Columbia. Maryland is not one of those 32 states yet, but is experiencing what the Center for Disease Control calls a regional outbreak. Well, tonight, low-income Baltimoreans who buy their home heating oil through Catholic charities are finding a little more money in their budgets. Because of the OPEC oil glut, heating oil will drop immediately 12 cents a gallon from $1 to just 88 cents.
If the price of oil is low, then we cut our price to our clients. I don't really know for the general market. Sometimes it stays at the level it was, and sometimes there's a small drop, but generally in the marketplace you see not much of a cut.
For his information and yours, the average market price for home heating oil is about $1.03 a gallon. Dave?
Millions of people saw it, thousands of people took pictures of it, but apparently no one except one scientist noted that Halley's Comet has a hole in its tail. In a picture taken on January 10th, there is what appears to be a dark spot not far from the head of the comet. They suspect solar whirlwind-like forces may be the explanation, but they'll leave a note asking someone to check next time it comes by.
I'd like to have a solar whirlwind force come and bring some warm air in.
That's where the driver's seat is.
Oh, that's how those comets travel. You know, you learn something new every day from Norm.
Every day. Hey, we do have some warmer weather coming in our direction. In the meantime, it'll be mostly dark tonight, followed by gradual increasing lightness tomorrow morning.
And weather-wise, Norm is in the driver's seat. His forecast is next, so please stay with us.
Award yourself high interest year after year, plus bonus interest for 1986. Get the 5-year Blue Ribbon IRA, only from Baltimore Federal Financial.
More fun than anybody. Just choose your deal. 7.5 financing or $500 cash back on dependable Dodge Omni. 7.9 on selected Ram Tough pickups. 8.6 or $1,000 cash back on Lancer ES. 8.6 or $500 cash back on 15 other Dodge models. 8.6 cash back, 7.9 or 7.5. It's the more ways to save sale. Just choose your deal while they last. From the fun ones.
Most everybody knows you get a precise, fully guaranteed tune-up at Precision Tune, but some people still don't know about our Pep Check. 26 additional inspections, measurements, and calibrations that can help keep your car on the road and out of trouble. Ignition, fuel system, emissions, battery cables, hoses, belts, and more, all checked free with every tune-up. So get the tune-up that's a whole lot more
than just a tune-up at Precision Tune.
And this winter, let your car warm up by having it hum a Precision Tune.
AT&T says they can save you 40% if you call after 5 p.m. MCI can save you more than that. AT&T says they can save you 60% after 11 p.m. or weekends. MCI can save you more. And during the daytime, AT&T doesn't offer any savings. Now, if MCI always costs less, how can AT&T claim any savings at all? Beats me.
When you're asked to choose a long-distance phone company for your home or business, choose MCI Dial 1 long-distance service.
If you were thinking about traveling to Haiti anytime soon, the State Department suggests you think again. Anti-government riots have now spread to 3 cities in Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. The U.S. believes the protests could foreshadow an end to the family dynasty that has ruled Haiti for 3 decades now. In the Philippines, 2 more political killings reported today in the presidential election campaign. The vote is next week, And President Marcos today promised he will step aside for a peaceful transition if he loses. President Reagan welcomed Angolan guerrilla leader Jonas Savimbi to the White House today. Mr. Reagan assured Savimbi he wants to help in the rebels' campaign against Angola's pro-Soviet regime. And a month of sun ended in parts of California today. As much as 4 inches of rain caused flash flooding as runoff poured down mountains damaged in last summer's forest fires. 39 people had to be evacuated in the Ojai area, and that after mudslides flattened several homes.
2 things I learned from Norm. It never, ever rains in Southern California, and it never, ever gets cold in Baltimore. And I'm just really...
Well, I'm glad you're happy to find that out.
Yeah, where have I been, huh?
I'll tell you, they have had some bad rainfall out there, but it's now starting to subside. The other problem is that rainfall is now moving into sections of Arizona, and Arizona is even flatter than California, and it's got nowhere to go, so it just kind of fills up. Yeah. But here we've got a break to the frigid weather we've been having. Good. Some warmer stuff's on the way, and maybe even a little bit of rainfall to loosen things up a little bit about Saturday afternoon or so.
Not bad.
Outside right now in Baltimore under mostly clear skies. It's 27 degrees right now in downtown, 20 degrees out at the airport at BWI. The relative humidity currently standing at 68%. Winds are coming to us from the west at 7, pressure steady, 30.34. Wake up weather tomorrow morning. Bundle up the kids one more time under partly cloudy skies down to about 17 degrees. Not quite that cold in the city. Our satellite picture of the northeast shows a fairly decent skies over the top of Baltimore. However, you don't have to travel too far westward to run into the clouds that are now starting to advance into the region coming from the Ohio Valley. Now, this area of cloudiness is all associated with a stationary frontal system which is going to sit right on top of us for the next several days, and little areas of low pressure in the upper atmosphere called troughs are going to move along that stationary front, bringing us a chance, only a chance of some precipitation, but we will be on the liquid side because some warmer air will be filtering up from the south, while meantime, northern portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, as well as western portions of Pennsylvania, could pick up a little bit more light snow activity. And there's that heavy rainfall activity now moving into sections of Arizona. That is the rainfall activity right there that hit the Southern California region. Super radar indicates exactly where the precip is now falling. We've got a little bit in sections of Iowa, the eastern half of the United States looking pretty good, and the rainfall, as we see now, moving into the western portion of the United States. Now, by tomorrow, this is the way the map is going to be looking. That rainfall pretty much diminishes over sections of Arizona, but breaks out again over Idaho, Montana, sections of Utah, and Colorado, which, by the way, in Colorado today, they said record warm temperatures. Pueblo, Colorado Springs got up to the upper 60s, the lower 70s. Here in the east, there's that little bit of light snow breaking out. You'll see some clear skies over the top of us early tomorrow morning, but then the clouds start to increase, become kind of a half and half day. Then as we move along into Saturday, that front becomes stationary, starts out as showers in the northern portion of the Ohio Valley, turns into a little bit of freezing rain, freezing drizzle, then to light snow over Wisconsin, sections of northern Illinois, and into northern portions of Michigan. Here's my forecast for the remainder of this evening. Again, under mostly clear skies tonight, about 17 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy day, warmer than today with a high of 38. And my extended outlook for the next couple of days, look for some showers during the afternoon, primarily on Saturday with a high of 42. On Sunday, partly cloudy, 42 degrees. Monday, just a shade cooler, but again, partly cloudy skies, so it looks like at least we're heading out of the deep freeze. Give everybody a chance to wash their car. All right. I don't mind the salt's about that thick on it.
I know what you mean. Thanks very much, Norm.
Okay,
sounds good. Well, the highest-ranking woman in the White House wants to become a senator from Maryland. Linda Chavez will be looking to fill the seat being vacated by Charles McMathias. She is considered the strongest Republican candidate, even after changing her party affiliation just in April of '85. Well, how does, excuse me, Governor Henry Kissinger sound to you? Or better yet, how does that sound to the voters in the Empire State? The former Secretary of State tonight is saying he's thinking about running against the incumbent Governor Mario Cuomo, who, by the way, is riding the crest of a 79% approval rating in a recent public poll.
In sports tonight, if you don't know who Virginia played,
North Carolina knows who they played.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
I was going to say, a surprise coming up. Don't go away.
It was close. Here we
we go again. Your Toyota dealer is wall-to-wall with new Toyotas. So you know now's the time to get a great deal. The selection is incredible. There are more Toyota cars than ever before. More Toyota trucks and lots more Toyota vans. There's plenty of room for dealing because, believe me, there's no room for any more cars. So see your Toyota dealer now while the Toyotas are wall-to-wall and squeeze out a great deal. Who could ask for anything more?
Smile. If you've been thinking about buying an adjustable bed or a quality flatbed, even looking for a flatbed bargain on sale, preview our beds and get our price before you buy. Then, even if you don't buy your adjustable bed from Craftmatic, I'll send you this Polaroid instant camera free. Craftmatic wants to be your bed company, so check us out. I'm convinced that when you compare quality and price, you'll find Craftmatic beds to be superior to any other adjustable bed on the market today. This Craftmatic 2 adjustable bed is so inexpensive, it's like buying a quality flatbed and getting the adjustability for free. So pick up your phone and call us toll-free and get your free Craftmatic bed catalog and this free coupon redeemable for your free Polaroid camera by return mail. Call for your free Polaroid camera coupon right away.
Call 1-800-228-1300. That's 1-800-228-1300. Call 1-800-228-1300.
Sure, I'd like a new truck, but I just don't have the cash for a down payment.
Coons Ford hears you. For 3 incredible days, we'll double your cash. That's right, cash or trade. Coons Ford will double it up to $3,000 and over 600 tough Ford trucks.
What if I only have $400?
Coons Ford will double that. Drive home a new Ranger for $109 a month. Plus, Coons Ford made special arrangements for 6.9% financing. 6.9% could save you thousands in finance charges alone. Imagine double cash back plus 6.9% on over 600 tough Ford trucks at Coons Ford Annapolis in Baltimore.
You imagine how many bettors on college basketball were really surprised tonight?
Well, they've had some fun at parties in Virginia in the past, and I guarantee you, they had the practice, and tonight they're going to really enjoy it. Virginia beat them. Virginia beat North Carolina 86-73. North Carolina was 21-0, and you just can't win them all. I mean, they did one time. They were 32-1 several years ago. They beat Will for the championship. But here's a case of Olin Polynice having a big game against Brad Daugherty, and a kid named Rich Morgan with a slam and doing a job. They get up by 10. This is the first half. Then in the second half, they had a 17-point lead, and suddenly it was a 6-point lead, and then down to a 5-point lead as they came back. But look at this. They worked the ball inside, finally the back door to Mel Kennedy. They keep their composure after it had been cut from 17 to 5. They went back to 8. Now they're going up, and they're going to win the ball game. Brad Daugherty had it taken away, and then Morgan and Sheedy, and finally Olin Polynice. Virginia hanging tough when it looked as though it might get away from them, hung on to win it, 86-73. I think the biggest win, maybe the biggest upset, and it can't be the biggest upset since Virginia was beaten by that club out in Hawaii a few years ago. But for this year, it'll do in the Atlantic Coast Conference, so it's such great balance. So they'll get them back in Tar Heel land pretty soon. The Orioles are going to be the first baseball team to put in a voluntary drug abuse testing program. The players got together, and under the direction and the guidance of attorney Ron Shapiro, who represents 16 Oriole players, these were some of the things that happened. It's a voluntary setup. There will be, the players themselves come forth, and I think it's 26 of the 38 that they've been able to contact before spring training have agreed to it. Random testing, 3 to 6 times a year at the discretion of the doctors. The program administered through the Johns Hopkins Medical Institutions, and it's strictly confidential as far as participation is concerned. Even the player, only the player and the doctors know. The club isn't even involved with who's involved. Drug abuse therapy is provided, and all costs are assumed by the ball club. The testing, the treatment, the therapy, the club will bear the cost of that, and this has been approved by the, well, it hasn't been totally approved by the Players Association, but the players have jumped in and want to do the thing. As we say, Ron Shapiro, a man who's done a lot of good for people representing players especially, had this comment to make today about the program.
We wanted to put some preventive steps in place, both in terms of detection and in terms of potential treatment if someone had a problem. We want the game to be clean. Secondly, there are a lot of players out there who don't oppose testing because they don't use drugs. And those players suffer a kind of guilt by association. And third, the issue of public confidence in the game of baseball, something important to all of us. I'm going to be bold enough, controversial enough to stand up and say that this is what we need to do as the players. We need to stand up and to work together with ownership. They've asked us, the commissioner has asked us to do something to help the game.
Scott McGregor, the Oriole player rep. It looked like the Dunbar-Walbrook game would be the game of the year in high school, and it was a Dunbar blowout after Walbrook took an early lead and really had the place jumping. Kevin McDaniels, who's been a terrific player, number 23, puts it up, little stutter step and jump, and he puts it up, and they lead 8-0 early in the game. Andre Boyd puts a shot up. It's tipped in by Henry Pittman, and folks are really jumping now. 12-6, Walbrook has an early lead, but Dunbar put a lot of pressure on the ball. Sean Tyson gets it to Carl James and Lewis Lambert. Really a nice feed here and a bucket for Dunbar, which took the lead at 15-13, and then they kept it going. Dunbar took advantage of a lot of steals, good pressure again, and some outstanding shooting by another college prospect, Sean Tyson, right there. Carl James gets a breakaway layup here, and this is a fellow who will definitely be a Division I college player pretty soon. Sean Tyson with the reverse slam as again Dunbar took advantage and went on to win the game. Final 72-55. Walbrook had been one of the few teams to beat Dunbar and the first team to beat him in several years when they beat him earlier this season. Loyola won tonight. Big game at Pittsburgh. Beat Robert Morris in college ball by 12. Washington beat Western Maryland by 1 in double overtime. Kurt Keller with 32. He's from Archbishop Curley. That club is 16-2. And number 8 in Division III. The women's basketball, UMBC beat Frostburg by a point. Mount St. Mary's beat Liberty by a lot. Tampa Bay beat the Lightning tonight by 2 points. After trailing by 20, the Lightning got the lead at 100 and then lost it. Don Collins had 44 points. They'll be home next Friday against Albany. The other scores in the NBA, Seattle beat New Jersey and Boston beat Chicago. They now won 9 in a row. Laurel canceled its after the 4th race today, a spill. Mr. Coy fell. He had to be destroyed. The 2 jockeys involved, Alberto Delgado and James Wallace, were not hurt. Bernie Ullman died today. Bernie, a referee who'd been 35 years in the game, played sports at Forest Park in Maryland, and was an NFL referee in the 1st and the 9th Super Bowl. Good friend of ours who always helped us with the rules. Services will be held Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at the Trinity Church in Tyson for ex-NFL referee Bernie Ullman. Dave will be back tomorrow with, I hope, a less ambitious day than today. There were a lot going on.
Busy, sure was.
Man,
all right, sir.
Early.
Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow. Finally, a follow-up on our earlier report about anti-government riots in Haiti. Apparently, some of that spirit spilled over into Miami tonight, where a Miami policeman was shot. He's in good condition. Shot during a riot tonight by some Haitian refugees. Police say that 400 of them poured into the streets after hearing a false rumor that Haiti's president, Jean-Claude Duvalier, had been arrested back in Haiti, which he wasn't. Witnesses say the demonstrators rode around the area of Miami in cars, firing guns into the air and chanting slogans calling for the fall of Duvalier. Miami police had to call 40 to 50 riot-equipped officers to back up the 20 units that were already on the scene. That one Miami policeman shot. He's in good condition, though. That following anti-government rioting today in Haiti. So that's the latest on that, and that is our report at 11. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Good night.
At Jerry's Mitsubishi, you can take your pick. A new Mirage sedan or a new Mighty Max pickup truck for only $58.95. Nobody can sell you a new car or truck cheaper than Jerry's.
When you run your own business, you know it can get lonely at the top. Good advice is hard to come by. But here in Maryland, you've got the Green Phone, a service provided by the Department of Economic and Community Development. Helping your business succeed is our business. So for information on finding the right space, training employees, financing, and more, just call the Green Phone, 1-800-OK-GREEN. We really can help, more than you can imagine.
H&R Block found Don and Flo Brown a tax refund of $939.
We couldn't have done it without you.
H&R Block found Lois Lesser $547.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're pledged to finding you the biggest refund you're entitled to. This year, let H&R Block do your taxes. Get back everything you've got coming.
I couldn't have done it without you.
H&R Block, where more Americans